Hello, I'm Carrie and I am back with another. This is a collective reading, and today we're joined by lots and lots of flies or little gnats. So if you see them, just know they want to be in this reading. It's the perks of living on an island. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for liking, watching, subscribing. I love your comments anytime you let me know if you resonate with this or not. And let's go ahead and get started. So I already see me like they're very attracted to this light. So I already chose the cards for this reading, and the overall general energy is about change. It's really about, it's so interesting because 2025 is going to be a 9 year. This is an 8 year. 9 years really about endings and new beginnings. Like 9 is the final number before we go back to 1. We don't go to 0 or 10. We go back to 1. And it's like this is the end before the new beginning, and I'm really feeling like that already ending energy. So if we go over here to victory and the 10 of swords, I don't know if you've ended something recently or if you've like decided, because swords is like a mental energy. So you've decided this is no longer going to run me. This is no longer going to be the way I behave or the way I think, or I'm not going to allow this to happen anymore, because swords too can be kind of like a cutting energy as well, especially with the person. You see this man walking out the door. So it's like an ending. It's like something that can mess with your mental too. It can be like something that can mess with your like mental health. You might be thinking some really negative thoughts. It could be in the place that you are, a person that you're with, or a situation that you've had to deal with. It's like, okay, this is giving me too much grief and too much stress. I'm done with it. So you could have walked away from that. You're contemplating walking away from that. But because I see victory and it's in the past position, it's kind of like you're just done with whatever that is. And this could be a plethora of things, like not even necessarily like a physical thing, but literally today I was watching Netflix, and there's this show on there that I like. I like the Walking Dead show, starring Daryl Dixon, like his spinoff show. But when I was watching it today, it was too much. It was just too much. It was too negative. Like some of the words they were saying, I'm like, okay, this is too intense, and I'm stressed out right now. I can't watch this right now, and I don't even know if I can finish watching the entire season. I might just have to let it go. Like it was just too negative for me, so I needed to walk away from that because it was doing, like it was just giving me some really bad thoughts and like putting me in a state of anxiety when I was literally comfortable in my own home. So it could be something like that. It's just like something like, I can't do this anymore. I can't continue in this way. And you are like letting that go. And then we've got hostilities clarified by the 2 of Wands. And it's like, when I see these hostilities, it's kind of reminding me of there's always going to be like an excuse or a reason or a thing that's like, oh, that's why I can't do this, or that's why this is not working for me, or this person is the reason, like this is my enemy and all this thing. But in this instance, in the way that this is set up here, I really feel like no matter what the issue is or the thing that you're feeling like is blocking you, no matter what that is, you're still looking to take your next steps. And so it's like you're taking your next steps even though this thing is still there, and you're just choosing to find a different way to do it, or find a way in which this thing doesn't like affect you so much, or find a way where this thing is not even a factor. Like you're just choosing, because there's so many different ways to do things. Like there's always another way to do it. It doesn't matter. Like maybe you are like, hey, I gotta work for this company because I want to get this job, and this company is the only company that has this job. Like you could literally figure out a way to do that same exact job in a different industry. Like say you want to be a manager. Like, you know what? I don't have to be a manager in this industry. I can be one in a different industry, and I can still get what I want to get out of it. Like I can still get, have the growth that I need, or maintain the growth that I need, or I can go to a different state and do this job because these people in this place are not allowing me to do what I want. Like there's just so many different ways that you can move things around, and I really kind of feel like energy of like chess pieces. Like, all right, I'm gonna do this instead of doing that, because this way it just doesn't seem like it's right for me. Like I thought that I wanted to be a singer and get up on these big stages, but whenever I get on those big stages, I get so much anxiety. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start singing in cafes, and I'm gonna get my same joy that I get when I sing, and I'm not gonna have the anxiety, and I'm gonna be happy. All I wanted to do was be happy singing, and instead of trying to go the path that everybody else goes, I'm gonna go my own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna figure out a different way to do what it is that you want to do. And that's what I see here, contract and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, to me, she's very vulnerable. Like, she feels everything. She's so sensitive. She can feel everything. Like, she's going to be okay. She can handle the energy that comes at her, but it can be a little bit draining. It can take a lot of her time and attention. When I think of the Queen of Cups, I think of somebody who, like, think of that person that people always go to because they feel so safe and comfortable with them, and they want to tell their, like, all their business to that person. Yes, that person can handle it. They probably know all the right things to say, but it takes the time out of their day to, sit there and handle, like, other people and their emotions and what they want, don't want, what's going on or not going on, and what do I need to say for this, and how can I guide them in a better direction. Like, there's so many different things that the Queen of Cups needs to consider. And in this contract, I feel like the next thing that you're moving on to, and actually I forgot to tell you, I'm asking for advice here. So this is advice. Whatever it is that you decide to move on to next, it needs to be something in which this Queen of Cups is going to be comfortable. She would need to be comfortable being herself, and she wouldn't need to, like, in order for the Queen of Cups to be comfortable, she needs to be in an environment that is not overly stressing or overwhelming, or like too many heavy emotions, or even too many strong emotions. It can be happy or sad or mad or angry, like anything that's extreme. It would not need to be present for the Queen of Cups to be just like chilling, She can exist in all the extremes, but for her to be chilling, those waves don't need to be super rough. They need to be nice and calm. And so it's like in the next contract that you decide to fulfill. And to me, because we're thinking about endings, because it's the end of the year, like in the next chapter in your life, and the next thing that you decide to do, and whatever plans that you're making for the end of the year, you would need to consider, definitely make sure to consider your comfort. And I'm talking about like the base comfort, like what environments and situations do you feel the most happy or most content or most at home with yourself? Those are the kinds of things that you would need to consider when you are planning your next whatever your next thing is. Even for me, the next show I want to watch. After I watched The Walking Dead and it was too much and I had to turn it off, I watched one of those YouTube shows where people just buy a bunch of stuff and open the boxes up and like show it to you. And maybe they all like it's clothes and they'll try it on or something, like that stuff I love watching. I'm like, oh, that's cute. It's kind of like you're shopping, but you don't have to spend any money, and I like doing it. So that would be my comfort zone if I was going to choose another show or choose something else to entertain me, and it wouldn't be The Walking Dead where there's a lot of zombies and it's a lot of like, gore and stuff. So it would be something like you would to walk forward through these hostilities onto the other side into something that's better for you. You would need to consider your sensitivity, what your triggers are, what environment's best for you, that kind of thing. And then we have Angel of Balance and the Eight of Wands. And I really feel like this is kind of repeating itself. It's like this contract has the scale, the Angel of Balance. We always know that the Angel of Balance has the scales. It's the Justice card. And so whatever it is needs to go together in balance. So there needs to be something that you can, it needs to be a place that you can exist in happily without too much going on. This literally says too much going on. So, because this is advice, it's like if there are opportunities that are coming towards you and you feel like it's a little bit too much, remember balance. Remember, okay, this is a little bit too much. Let me not accept that, or let me tailor it to be more like this, or let me put this into consideration, or let me in the contract make sure I add that there because I'm not interested in doing this, and this. If you're doing a new job, I feel like especially nowadays, because I don't know, maybe because COVID happened, so many jobs are asking people to do way more tasks than normal. Like they're trying to put two jobs into one, right? So if you were to look at the job description, you might take a pen and be like, okay, I see that this job says that I'm going to be the cook. I'm going to be the cook. So why does it have washing dishes, wiping down tables, serving guests. Like, that's not responsibility of the cook. I'm supposed to cook. And so you might take your little pen and mark out all the things that are not cook related and say, this is the job that I'm choosing to do. And because I want to be in balance and be myself, I as the cook know that I'm not going to do all these things. So I'm just going to mark these out. It's like making sure that whatever next thing that you choose is going to be in balance with you. So I think it's kind of like a warning, like, watch out. Hey, next thing that you're going to do, pay attention. Make sure that once you sign the contract or you get involved in it, it's going to be the type of energy that you're looking for, and not all this extra stuff, because you want a different life, right? Not the same. You don't want the same issues that you had before, the same situation you had before. You want it to be different. The way to make it different is to pay attention. Is this too much? Are there too many responsibilities being handed to you? And then we've got garden in the gate in the sun. Love this ending because it's kind of like a story saying, you know, this is what happened in the past. To change that, here are some of the things that you can change to do that. And if you make those changes, because the garden in the gate is literally about coming outside of your comfort zone, doing things that you hadn't ever done before, going to a place you've never been before. Like, this garden is your place of comfort, like your home. It's got all your favorite fruits and vegetables, flowers, whatever. But if you step outside that gate, you don't know what's on the other side. And it's saying, if you decide to do that, if you make the decision to do something that you've never done before, to get something you've never gotten, the sun is going to be on the other side. Like, it's there. The things that you want are on the other side of your fear and uncertainty, and your, like, it's basically in the unknown. If right now, because I feel like I'm talking to people who don't have what they want yet, if right now you don't have what you want and you don't see that you're on the track to getting it, like, you're not, like, it's not lined up for you already, then you would need to do something different to get what it is that you want. And it's basically saying, yes, try another path, do something different, try something new in order for you to gain something different, basically. Well, they say, like, the definition of insanity, whatever the definition of insanity is, I forgot what it is, but that's what's coming to mind. And yeah, I believe it's, so, like, just the overall, because I'm looking at the bottom of the decks right now. Both of these decks that I'm using, the top one is the Energy Oracle cards, and the bottom one is the Angel Wisdom Tarot. But I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. It's the Thinking Woman, and then the Four of Pentacles. So it's like you're charting your own path. You're choosing what you want to invest your time into, because the Four of Pentacles, if you look in the normal tarot, the Four of Pentacles, the person is not using their pentacles. They're not spending them at all. They're holding them and keeping them to themselves. Nobody's getting through those pentacles. But in this depiction, she's actually investing one of her pentacles. So it reminds me of, like, a period of which you've been kind of holding back and being like, you know, I'm doing too much here. I don't even need to be giving more to these people or to this situation or whatever. And then now, if you decide, like, you choose to, like, have a different strategy, you're going to invest a little bit into something new and into something different. It's kind of like just testing the waters, I feel. So I think there's a new direction that you may want to go in, but you haven't necessarily put any energy into it. And the advice is to put a little bit in that direction and see what happens. Invest some things into that new direction and see what happens. But again, as you create your new beginning, or create your new thing, whatever the new thing is, your new way of life, even if you're no longer wanting to do the same things that you do every day, it's like, you know what, when I get home, I don't do anything. I actually want to start doing things, like when I get home from work or when I get home from school. I want to, like, start living more. I want to go outside more. I want to see my friends. I want to read more books, whatever it is that you want to do. Like, start investing your time to doing that and seeing what changes come about from that, and seeing, like, okay, actually, I was happy. I did have the time. All I had to do was move this one thing around, or, you know, I realized I spend a lot of time on my phone when I could be doing the things I want to do outside, or calling my friends, or reading the books. So there's just a new way in which you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And the time is now. I feel like the energy is there for us, especially when we're going into this ending energy. And yeah, none of these hostilities can hold you back. There's always a different way to do it. Whatever you feel like the block is, it is not real. There's always a new way. Like, there's always some other way to do. You just have to look for it. Okay, that is the reading. I will see you guys in the next one.